Hello and welcome to the Lordly Verdict. As you see, I recently cleaned my shirt, and I'm wearing a new one, and today we were doing a Vita review. Yeah, I play on my Vita. It's awesome. The system has some serious issues, I'll admit, and it wasn't too popular, but there's a lot of good games on it. Now, today I will be reviewing Trails in the Sky. It is part of the Legends of Heroes series, and is done by Xseed Games. Now, if you don't like the Vita, you can actually buy it on your PC, and it runs great. My PC is 5 years old, and the port was great. Perfect port. Now, however, just perfect port. It even uses the keypad and mouse quite well, which means it avoids some of the problems I've seen in other ports. It feels like it was redesigned for PC and not just other stuff. And sorry for getting into that so quickly before doing basics, but I just wanted to say the port's good, so it doesn't matter which version you do. Now, Legend of Heroes is a game done by translated by Xseed and is part of a big series. Trails in the Sky is the big one. It's the one that really put it on the map and came across great. And there's some good reasons why. The first one being, it knows how to make a fun RPG. See, the first thing that hit me about this is it uses a tactical battle system which, while still turn-based, makes sure to have some extra stuff. You can actually interrupt enemy turns if you have enough power, which means you can't get stuck in a death combo where you can't react while the enemies do. It's not afraid to have you face 5, 10 enemies at once, which is not as difficult as you'd think, but it still adds a bit of extra to it. Area effect spells become really important in those instances, otherwise you'll get tinked to death. The magic system is well done. You use just standard MP, and each character is customizable. You actually combine different little gems to create new magic spells. And whenever you want, just as long as you've gotten the characters powered up enough, you can switch out the gems. And you actually get a little currency called Sepith you use to unlock additional gem spots, so each of your characters can have up to 6 gems. And you have gems of varying strengths. The gems themselves don't have the specific spells. They just give you a bit of extra boost to it. Like a little bit of attack, a little bit of extra stuff. It's the combinations that grant you the spells. So like if you use 1 green thing, you get a basic green spell. If you use 3 green things, if you do a green and a yellow, you get a unique spell. And that really works good. I need something to drink. Yeah. Oh shit! Take mushrooms! Hold on 1 second, guys. I like to do everything in one take, and my beer just exploded on camera. I'm keeping this take because it's hilarious. Oh. Crud. So, yeah. Xseed Games, if you see this, I hope it's amusing. But yeah. And the system's also well done because they make sure to have a unique variety of enemies. Once you get the information spell, you can see in advance, without beating them once, what the limits of the bad guys are. So you can see, yeah, this guy's immune to physical attacks, you have to use magic. This guy's got a trick of his own, blah blah blah. This guy can steal your mana, in this game called EP, and it adds a little bit of extra ability to plan to it, so because you know what's coming, you just have to figure out how to handle it right. And what I like is you can customize the characters. I mean, they have their own unique stats, but like they use weapons with different reaches and all, but yeah. Still, you can make sure to tweak them out. Like you can make one character a healer and then switch around who the healer is. And you can do that at a moment's glance. Sorry for walking around. I'm hyper. Yeah, this is the problem with having a reviewer with ADD. They get distracted by things. So yeah, this is not going to be my most professional review, but, well, one of the ideas I was going to use was the one-take reviewer. This is why. I also don't have any editing skills whatsoever, and gosh, does this make my chin look big. Okay. So, what happens is the battle system works well, and most of the battles are quick, though I will give it one thing. Since most of the battles use multiple enemies, and enemy HPs get a bit high, if you're going through an area you've reached beforehand, encounters can get annoying. Because you have the battle load up, and the enemies are doing like 1 damage to you, and you're doing half HP to them, which means you can't quite kill them. So they just become a chore, and there's no auto battle, so that's an annoyance. And some of the dungeons get a trifle long, since they don't have the orbment charging station, which is essentially a free tint. And what I really like, not only is the tint free, well, not only is the tint a specific thing made a big deal of, it's free. If you know where one of these are, you can just use it as a base to explore, and that's really great. The problem is there's not enough of them. So at least one minor side dungeon I got in, I was just annoyed because there were so many enemies. Another thing to bring up is, like a lot of the good RPGs going around nowadays, there are 0 random encounters. All enemies are seen on the map and you can dodge them, or you can hit them from behind and other stuff. Also known as the Earthbound Chrono Trigger system. And it works great. It means that if you are in an area with weak enemies, you can just breeze through as fast as you can, and you don't have to face them because, well, they don't give you much. The use of Sepith as a currency, which is not only worked into the story, but it also adds an extra little thing because you don't have to just grind for EXP or grind for gold. Even a weak enemy gives you a little bit of Sepith, and you use Sepith to buy the gems you need and to unlock new gem slots. So this means even beating weak enemies and grinding on them still is meaningful. Sometimes annoying, as I brought up, but still meaningful. But what I like well is the story. I mean, it's a cliche story at first, but it adds some nice touches to it. There are some themes to it. And the big theme? Nobody here is exactly what they seem, as Jakar put it. All the characters have extra depth to them. You can't trust your first impression. A character can seem friendly but then reveal they have other reasons. A character may seem villainous but be doing those things for a good reason. And the first chapter sets it out. Even righteous characters can be hiding a secret because they don't want it to come out. And they make these secrets an important part of the game. You can't trust your first impression. There's more to people than what they seem. But the truth always comes out. And what I like best is the characters themselves are really fun. Even when the characters reveal their secrets, they make sure to give them fun to them. The main heroine isn't just a bland thing. She's active, tomboyish, and fun. She collects sneakers instead of shoes. And, well, it's brought up that she's kind of weird. It's just, she's not treated as a bad person because she's tomboyish and she's not given a learn to be feminine message. She's awesome and fun. She's snarky and a bit stupid, but Not because she's a girl, it's just because she fits that archetype. She's the idiot hero. But she's also got that heart that a good bit of idiot heroes have. Much like someone like Goku or something. It's just, she's likable, and she snarks, and she's friendly. And I really like that. She never comes across as sexist, and she always comes across as a fun character to listen to. The relationship with her and her foster brother / love interest, yeah, that's another weird thing. She's fallen in love with her foster brother. Oy, Japan. Yeah, there's really nothing more to say, it's just Japan. They work well together. They feel like they're family. They snark to each other. They get along. But if you ever get in trouble with them, they've got your back. And they work great together. So this means even when the story is cliche, it's a good cliche. See, it actually reminds me of My Little Pony Party of One. The beats of the story aren't in any way, shape, or form unique. It's just, stop bandits, save the queen, blah, blah, blah. But what makes it is the way they enact it. The characters within it. So within that cliche plot, they just go for broke. And then the ending. The ending of this game is remarkable. First, because people didn't know it was a two-parter. So, that's one thing. And secondly, what causes the two-parter to come in is, oh, I'm not going to spoil it. It's just, what they do is take everything you've learned and just blow it up. It's one of those things, it's much comparable to the end of Babylon 5, where they show this thing, this thing, this thing, then suddenly reveal they're telling a completely different story. Everything you used to rely upon is different. All that setup was setting up something completely different than what you could expect, and then it gets good and hits the ground running. All in all, I rank this a solid 4 out of 5. It's not perfect, but it's great, good fun, and it was on sale recently. Sadly, I think the sale's gone off, but, well, it happens. With the third one coming out and the sequel series, Trails of Cold Steel, coming out, go get this. It's only $20. Get Legends of Heroes Trails in the Sky for PC or Vita, and get it now. Because this game is good, and you're going to love what happens in the next one. Oh, and if you want to complain about the two-parters, both of these are 30-hour plus games. It's worth 2 parts. This is also one of the most story-heavy games I've seen, to the point where the sheer amount of dialogue, well, yeah, it was a big thing. So, go play it. Have fun. I know I did.